Chullin, Daf Samach Tes Amud Aleph, 6 lines down. The Lord is going to ask a bunch of beautiful questions here. Lomdish Shailas for you, special for you, Chaim. So yesterday we learned that they're going to get to basar. It says basar basada treifa. The meat in a field treifa. Now the question is,
you said we're at
Daf Samach Tes Amud Aleph on top. The question is, why does the pasuk say the word basada? Treifa has nothing to do where it's at. It could be in a barn and it can be in a sada. It could be in the house. So the answer is, we said sada is referring to no boundaries. Anything that is out of the boundary is like a treifa. Basar basada treifa. What boundaries do we have? Rabbi said, you remember the boundaries we have by basar? We have the ubar in its mother's stomach, so the womb is a boundary. Then we also had kachi kachim, kachim kalim. Kachi kachim, the boundaries in the Azara. Kachi kalim, the boundaries in Yerushalayim. So, as Rav Chananya, can we combine these boundaries? Are the boundaries, the outer boundaries, the boundary of the Beis HaMikdash, could that work as a boundary for kachim? Do me a favor, Mendy. I don't know if this is straight. It looks a little crooked. Figure it out. Okay, shkoyach. We need Avi there. No.
Thank you. So
you're in the front. You can't get to it. You don't see it. Since this mechitza in the Beis Hamikdash works for kachim, once you go out, it's no good. Or maybe it doesn't work for food, for this animal. The mechitzas ubar imohi, because when it comes to a vlad, when it comes to ubar, what's the mechitza? It's mother. What kind of connection does the Beis Hamikdash have with the mother, with the ubar? So Abai has a bam kasha. Why are you asking me about a mechitza of Beis Hamikdash? Ask me about the mechitza of Yerushalayim. There's another mechitza, the outer mechitza. So we have the mechitza of what?
It's the way you can eat it, right?
Yeah, we have 3 mechitzas here. We have the outside mechitza of Yerushalayim. Then within that we have the mechitza of the Azara, and within the mechitza of the Azara you have the womb of the animal. It's 3 mechitzas. The vlad is inside the womb. That's mechitza number 1. We said if once it penetrates that mechitza, then that basar, whatever comes out, is asr to eat. As for Chananya, maybe the mechitza of the Azara we should pretend that the animal is still inside its mother. It's still inside a mechitza, so the basar should not be asr. Says Abaya, wait a minute, that makes no sense. What about the outer mechitza Yerushalayim? That means any animal that came out of its mother should be okay because it was within the side of the mechitza of Yerushalayim. Kachim kalim Yerushalayim, my time Elokim b'Bayloch, the mechitza suber imayu. That obviously, you never thought that if an animal came out with inside Yerushalayim and then you brought the animal back inside the Beis Hamikdash and shechted it, it would be okay. Why? Because obviously it's the mother that counts here, not a physical wall. And therefore also when it comes to the Beis Hamikdash, the Azara, there's no difference between the wall of the Azara and the wall of Yerushalayim, and there's no shayla. Boy Yilfa. Now we know, throughout Chullin we were learning that shchita, what does shchita do? Shchita does 2 things really. Shchita allows us to eat the animal. What else does shchita do? It removes the tumah of nevela. Because typically if an animal drops dead, that animal is tamei. But if you shecht an animal, even if you can't eat it, even if it has a hole in its heart, you can't eat it, it's not tamei anymore, it's just a treifa. So asks Ilfa, Hoitzi uber syodoi bein simin l'simin mau. Now, once the animal sticks its hand out, we said, you can't eat the hand. Yet, we're continuing, what happened was, we shechted, let's say the trachea. After we shechted the trachea, that was a 10-minute process, it was a very dull knife. The animal stuck its hand out. Then we continued and we shechted another 10 minutes, we got to the esophagus. So we did 2 simonim. The animal stuck its hand out between Siman 1 and Siman 2.
And then to put it back again.
Yeah, we don't care if I put it back or not. It doesn't really matter. We said yesterday, it doesn't matter. Once it sticks it out, it's gone. Mi mitztarev simin rishon lesimin shemini l'tarei b'dei nevei lo eloi. Do we say that at least, okay, so you can't eat this hand because the hand came out, fine, but maybe it shouldn't have tumas nevela. Yesterday we mentioned that this hand, since it's like it's aver menachai, it came out of the mother while it was still alive, and you can't eat it. It's aver menachai, so it had a tumas nevela. But at the end of the day, it did have one siman. It was shechted with one siman. Then it stuck out its hand, and then you shechted the second siman. So maybe the second siman should come and be mitzvah to the first siman, and get rid of the tumas nevela. Omarava, and actually we had this exact sugya, words, everything earlier on in the Masechta. Omarava, kal v'chomer, im hoyeloi simin rishon l'simin sheni latir b'achila. As every shchita does, you could combine one siman with the second siman to make it mutter b'achila. Lo yarloi l'tahari midei nevela. So certainly they should come together and make it kosher for nevela. Tar from nevela, it shouldn't be tamei tumas nevela. Boy Rabbi Yirmiyah. Ma'u lachash l'zari. This is an amazing sugya. We're talking about a ben pekua, right? You have an animal, and now we're going to be talking about a zachar for a second. You have an animal that was born, a male zachar that was born a ben pekua, meaning while he's in his mother's stomach, he stuck out his foot, and then they shechted it. They shechted the mother, and then he comes out. Now he gets older, he becomes of age. They find him a shidduch. They marry him off to bas para, choshev a girl, not a bas pekua, not a ben pekua. We're going to call a female, male, doesn't matter. They're all ben pekuas. So they married him off to a non-ben pekua. Now here's the big question. This ben pekua has a defected leg. His leg is not a ben pekua. His leg, that one leg you can't eat. You don't shecht him. You eat everything that he has on him without shechita, besides his leg. Now he gets married. He has offspring. What happened to his offspring? Do his offsprings have the same defect in their leg? You hear the kasha? It's amazing kasha. Do we view his, basically Gemara is going to say, do we view his zera as leg for leg, lung for lung, head for head, and therefore his zera puts into his offspring a bad leg, or not?
And the other parent is not a ben pekua?
Yeah, so we're going to start off the sugi, not a ben pekua.
Why does he have a bad leg?
Then how is the child ben pekua?
Then what should we do?
Not the really bad leg.
Both parents have to be ben pekuas in order for the child to be ben pekua.
Right, so maybe you could shecht it or something.
I mean, the question is, can you check this?
Yeah, let's see. The Gemara talks about what you're saying.
The child is not that the child is going to be a ben pekua. That's not the child. The child is can you do anything with the leg?
Yeah, what do we do here? Let's see inside.
You got a leg that you can't.
Boy Rabbi Yirmiyah. By the way, the Gemara says this is not even his question. He never even was thinking about this question, but it's a cute question. It's a very gishmak question to discuss. What about his offspring? Says the Gemara, what do you mean his offspring? If he was together with a normal animal, not a ben pekua, my irio haidis beisu yoyte. What are you so worried about the leg? Afilu ben pekua da almanami. The whole thing is no good. According to Hananya, that says that we have to be worried about the father. So this is machloikis, right? We have the halacha that you're not allowed to shecht a mother and the offspring in one day. What about the father? He's a nobody?
Nobody.
We don't know who he is.
So let's say we know who he is. A guy only has two animals. He has a zachar in a cave, and they have a baby cow. Could you shecht the father and the baby cow on the same day? Hananya says no, you can't. We have to be worried and concerned. We have to be concerned about zerav. The father has this lineage when it comes to cows. Chashin zerav. So ben pekua haba Al behema mal yisa. So if the father is a ben pekua and the mother is not, havlad ein lo takana. And this is what you were saying, Mr. Kornblue. You can't do anything with this baby. Why? If the father was a ben pekua, forget about a leg coming out, not a leg coming out. The father is a ben pekua, and the mother is not. So says Rashi, you know what happens to the simanim of this animal? They're missing. He doesn't have, the animal has half simanim. Either you physically look like he has one siman, not the other, or both simanim they're half. You can't shecht, half simanim. Why? Because a ben pekua doesn't have simanim. You can't do shchita on a ben pekua. There's no shchita. Shchita doesn't do a thing to a ben pekua. So a ben pekua, if you're concerned about, only according to the Mandalmar, it says, you're concerned about the father does something here, you view the father and the son, you say, oh, father, son. So then the father has a baby, his baby has his simanim. His simanim are nothing. But the baby also has the mother's simanim, the simanim are perfect. So because you have in between simanim, so you can't shecht half simanim. You can't shecht 50% simanim.
You're allowed to shecht the ben pekua.
You're allowed to shecht it did nothing. You didn't shecht simanim, you shechted the ear. You didn't accomplish a shchita. You're allowed to shecht a ben pekua, you're allowed to shoot it in the head, you're allowed to take a bite right out of it. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it. Shchita obviously doesn't ruin it. But halachically, there's no simanim here. So halachically, 50% of the simanim of this baby are missing. So then what are you so worried about? So it can't be, says the Gemara, that we're talking about a ben pekua who was with a regular animal.
But the ones that are missing don't need a shchita. You're saying half of it's there, half of it's not there. But the ones that aren't there don't need a shchita because it's been.
So what do you do? Tell me what you just did. You just shechted 50%? How much?
You shechted the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
You shechted the whole guy. You can't do half. You're saying half of it doesn't need a shchita.
It means lumdus.
Half
Lumdus.
of it doesn't. The part that
As
doesn't
long
need
as
a shchita.
halachically it's not there. Halachically it doesn't exist. The simanim are not there.
Right, but the part that's not there doesn't need the shchita because it's ben pekua.
Yep, but you can't do 50% shchita
You
halachically.
did a whole shchita. You're saying part of it needs a shchita.
Yeah.
And that part you shechted.
No.
Part of it doesn't.
No.
At the end of the day, you didn't do shchita because
You can't
You
do.
did shchita on you did shchita on both.
You didn't do. Okay. Either time out. Either one siman is missing completely. Pretend one siman is missing. Rashi says one siman is missing. Now what do you do shchita on? Oh, on that siman.
That makes better. That makes more sense because we learned previously that if you shecht both simanim halfway, it's a kosher shchita. Exactly halfway.
Exactly. Or Rubik and Kula. We don't know where. We don't know how. We don't know which siman. What do you shech? The esophagus or the trachea? Which one is here? We don't know. Rashi goes on both things. He says either everything is missing. But kids, halachically there's no shchita here. That's what the Gemara is trying to say. There's no. You can't physically do shchita here.
It's not like you have it's 100% that needs shchita and 100% that doesn't need, like 50 and 50. Every single molecule of that behemoth
Right.
is a problem. It's
Right.
half
But
of
the
that
part that
molecule-
doesn't need shchita, the part that's not there doesn't need it. The part that,
But then you're looking at it. You're not looking at it the right way.
molecule is a-
Says the Gemara.
whatever
Look
part
at
together.
Rashi. Look at Rashi.
Says the Gemara. Lo yitzricha. Okay, so the kasha is different. The kasha is lo yitzricha the azal ben pekua de kavosei mai. We're talking about that this ben pekua with a defected leg because he stuck it out before his mother was shechted, had a baby with another ben pekua. The female is also a ben pekua. Not necessarily that she stick out her leg. She didn't stick out her leg. A normal ben pekua. Mai. Aver moiled aver. Do we view it literally that the leg that comes out of the baby is partially the father's leg? V'chatich levu shari. And then you can't eat this animal. You can't eat the leg. You could eat the rest of the animal, but you can't eat the leg. You have to chop the leg off. It's a defected leg. He got to be Yerusha. He has a bad gene. The front leg is no good. Oidilma.
Maybe there is going to be a ben pekua.
What? The baby is a ben pekua minus the leg.
Doesn't need shchita, you can't eat the leg.
Minus the leg. Oidilma mebalbel zare. Or it just, everything mixes into the zera. You can't point out a leg and say this leg comes from the father. Obviously, he says, oh, I realized it's not clear who's Hadar, but anyways, Hadar Pshita the Mebalbel Zare. It doesn't make so much sense that Hadar Amar is going on to Rabbi Yirmiyah because we're still trying to figure out what Rabbi Yirmiyah asked. But anyways, Hadar Amar, the Gemara is saying, Pshita the Mebalbel Zare, it's Pashut that you don't literally view the father's leg going into the animal, into the baby's leg. Dimkein Suma Yoilad Suma, what? You think a blind father always has blind children? Vikiteya Yoilad Kiteya, Elapshita de Mebal Bazare. It all gets mixed in there, and it's all one big mush. Vachikem Bailon. Behemod Baalma Lav Mikoyach Chelev Dam Kaasi Visharyo. Wait a minute. Every animal has within it Isur Chelev and Dam, right? Every animal. In the Zera, you have a little bit of Chelev and Dam in it. Visharya, nevertheless, it could have children, and you say that the kid of a cow is kosher. The kid of the cow was created with chelev and dam. Hachanami lo yishna. So over here also, within the zera, you have a defective part, a leg. It's not a problem. Oidilma trei isurei amrina. Maybe the Torah gave us a special heter for 2 isurim only, chelev and dam. Tosfos says you have to add a third isur gida nasha. Fine. Basically, the point is, this is what the Torah said is okay. Don't add any isurim to it. But to add an isur of Ever Menachai to it, no good. That leg is Ever Menachai. It remained Ever Menachai. I can't add it. What? The leg that came out. What else is it? Treifa, whatever you want to call it. The kids are yoitze. You know what the best way to call it is yoitze. It's a isur yoitze. Fine. Ulaman, says the Gemara, and who is he referring to exactly? Eli Reb Meir. Now Reb Meir is very interesting. We're going to see later on. Reb Meir holds that when a baby animal comes to full term and you shech the mother, like in that video that's going around like crazy. We saw the video 2 months ago, the Ben Pekua video. You didn't get it 3 times yesterday? I got it from 3 different people. You have to have that Davar Asr. WhatsApp, yeah. There's a video of a real Ben Pekua in England where there's twins. Fitting in with Rashi yesterday, Rashi that talks about twins in a Ben Pekua. So anyways, you see a mother that's out of it completely, they slit her throat, and then they cut open her stomach, and out come 2 live calves. Real Ben Pekuas. And there you could start a farm on the spot. You don't even have to look for another. You have, if it's Zachar Nekeva, bam. By the way, it's so not pashut. I mean, it's mefurish. It's a machlokes tanaim. If you could, who is it? Kids, it's a big machlokes. If that works, if it goes generations, and it's a 3-way machlokes. Zuri and yeah, it's tanaim.
That's all what they need. Because only for the chuvers. Now you're going to stop shechting. You're obviously going to continue shechting. But all the machlokes that always went for the chumer, now you're going to go with chumer. That's all.
Oh, you're saying to use the Ben Pekua and shecht it and manav shach kind of thing. Right, that's what I'm saying. They hold that you have to shecht it. So then what do you gain? What do you gain? Oh, you're saying even according to the mandama, they have to shecht it, but you still could eat the sirchas and eat everything in it.
The hindquarters is the main thing.
Right, because that's what we're going to see. That what they're saying is, Rabbi said that a ben pekua, if you view it as a limb of the mother, you could view it as a baby, and then it has halacha like any other animal. But if you view it as the limb of the mother, then everything in it is mutter. You're allowed to eat its heart, its chaylev, its blood, everything, because it's just another limb of the mother. What? Zero halachas is treifa. Get anasha, everything. You just eat it. Eat everything. Brach levatala. Maybe, yeah. I'm saying, unless you hold the halacha that you have to do the shechita, like that man the Amar, it says, fine. Rabbi said, okay. Now, says the Gemara. So Rebbe comes along and says there is no ben pekua if the baby is full term. There's no ben pekua. You don't get away with it. Like that video in England, according to Rebbe, that's not a ben pekua. Ben pekua is only when the baby is younger. But if it's a full term calf, no ben pekua. Ulaman iler Meir. She says isur chaylev v'damiko, isur yoytze leko. He says this baby, this calf in the stomach is 100% like a regular animal. So maybe if it's a regular animal, you have an Isser of Chaylev, there's an Isser of Dam, there's a Treifa, everything. All the halachas of Ben Pekua don't apply to it, but it's a Yaitza Leka. There's no problem of sticking out a hand, just like any other baby. Every baby sticks out their hand, and then the other hand, then their whole head, and then you have to stick out your hand at one point. So Mela, there's no Isser Yaitza, and there is an Isser Chaylev, and so it can't go according to Rameir. Either Rabbi Yehuda, who's the author of this halacha of Ben Pekua, Isser Yaitza Ikka, then it's a regular Ben Pekua that sticks out its hand, Isser Chaylev Adam Leka. So there is no Isser of Chaylev Adam, and we just said that we have 3 Isurim here. We have an Isser of Chaylev and Dam, and the Isser of Ben Pekua. Says the Gemara, Manavshach doesn't work. This nan, Gidanash Noig B'Shlil. You're talking about the Ben Pekua, the baby, the Shlil, the fetus. Says the Gemara, the what? The placenta? Yeah, but we're talking about the fetus here. Gidanash Noig B'Shlil. Do you have, what kind of Isurim do you have in this fetus over here? So one man says Gid Anosha, you have the problem of Gid Anosha. V'chel boy Osir. Right? Divrei Rebbe Meir. Rebbe Yehuda Omer, Einoig B'Shlil. You don't have Gid Anosha. V'chel boy Mutter. Right? Like we said before. There's no problems of Treifus at all. Hello. So the Gemara, so then what's the pshat over here? There's no, what are you telling me? There's 3 Isurim, there's 2 Isurim, there's no Isurim. There's either one Isur of Yotzei, or one Isser, or Chaylev and Dam, but you can't combine the two. Says the Gemara, Ella kol mekoyach lo yamrinon. We're not worried about the father at all. He has no power over here. He doesn't give off any Yisurim. And everybody holds this shari. Of course, it's okay. His leg doesn't create an issue here. So what's Rabbi Yirmiyah's shaila that we had all the way in the beginning? Mahu lochash lezari. Do we have to worry about his offspring? V'hachi kameh bayalon. Mahu ligmoya chalavai. We're talking about a female now. We're going away from a male. The mother is a Ben Pekua. The mother was born after her mother was shechted. Can you drink her milk? Now she grew up, says Rashi, so then the Lashon is a little interesting. Ma'u lochash l'zarei. Should we be concerned about her offspring? What offspring? We're worried about milk. No. So Rashi says pshat, because in order to get milk, you have to have a baby. So ma'u lochash l'zarei means, what happens if she had a baby, zaroi, and then she has milk? Can you drink her milk? What's the shaila? All milk comes from Ever Menachai. How do you produce milk? From a live animal, from live organs.
It's not Ever Minachai though.
Why not?
Because
it comes from Avers. It comes from an Aver.
Of course it comes from an Aver, but it's not an Aver itself.
It's not Aver itself, but it's produced from an Aver. It touches Aver. It's all mixed in Aver. We need a special limo to say that you're allowed to. There's a limo that tells us you're allowed to drink it.
Same thing with an egg. Right, let's not maybe an egg. Why are you allowed to eat an egg?
Yeah, exactly. But it's allowed. Aver min achai. This milk that comes from the Aver of a chai, it's allowed. Hanami loishna. So too, this milk that comes from a bas pekua, ben pekua should be mutter. Oidil mahasam islei takanto lisur b'shchita. At the end of the day, I could check any cow, and I make everything kosher. So therefore, the milk is also kosher. But over here, by this ben pekua, shchita doesn't work. So maybe it doesn't work for the milk either.
You're talking about the zar of it, or it itself?
No. No zar. We're talking about a mother ben pekua. A ben pekua that gives off milk. Shchita doesn't work on it at all. And end of the story.
So therefore maybe it's still Ever Minachai.
Yes.
According to Rabbi Meir,
Yeah.
a fully formed egg that comes out of the chicken after shkita is not deflation.
Right. According to no one.
Yeah, no. Normally we say a fully formed egg that was.
Yeah. According to Ramey, what it should be? You're saying
According to Rabbi Meir, once it's fully formed, it's considered like
its own thing, its own entity. That's what we said. Don't we say that? Fully formed egg has nothing to do with the mother. We always say that. Fully formed egg, once it's in a shell, it's done. It's separated from the mother. Remind me of Menachem, I saw an interesting Rashba here that discusses, I don't know exactly, it goes both ways. I was looking into it yesterday because the Rashba asked, what about the problem of treifa? Basa basada treifa. You're talking about it, how do you get away from the Isser of treifa? So he says, no, the main Isser here is lacking shchita. That's the problem. It's not treifa. That's how he goes into it. But anyways, fine. Talk about it later. It says in the Mishnah that you could chop off a piece of the fetus inside the mother, leave it inside the stomach, even though it's not attached to the fetus. The shechita of the mother still has an effect on that piece, on any piece floating around in the stomach. But it doesn't have an effect on the mother's own organs. If you chop off a piece of the mother's organ, thank you, then it's Ever Menachai, and the shechita doesn't work. Minolan, how do we know this whole thing? This whole Ben Pekua business. Says the Gemara, D'chsiv v'chol behema mafresis parso behema bibehema l'rabis zavlad. So first of all, I just want to point out this pasuk that's not really in the side of the Gemara. So this for sure we need. There's a pasuk in Vayikra Perek Yud Aleph, pasuk Gimel, the same pasuk that we're going to show in a second, almost the same pasuk, but it's missing a very vital word, behema. It only has one behema at the end of the pasuk, ba behema. So remember that it's the whole pasuk. Kol mafresis parshas hashem the present malas gera ba behema. Oh, is it the chelu? What? No, this is in Vayikra Perek Yud Aleph. Now, if you look at this pasuk that the Gemara brings, look at this pasuk. It's very different. V'chol behema ba behema. Now that makes this pasuk a lot stronger. Meaning, the whole word is extra. Behema is extra. The whole pasuk is extra. But forget about that. The pasuk is extra. In the pasuk itself, it says behema ba behema. You could just say v'chol mafreses parso. She said just exactly like it says over here. This is already not even a diuk. Sometimes I say these diuk and people give me these looks. Well, it shouldn't say behema. Why not? Well, here it doesn't even say behema in the beginning. Over here it says behema, v'chol behema, and over here it says kol mafreses parso directly. Fine. So then that means this whole word is extra. And this whole word is extra, says the Gemara, this is the Yisod, and remember this for the rest of the Masechta, the rest of the Perek. This is the Yisod Ben Pekua. Behema ba behema. You have an animal that's living within another animal, and the shechita works on that animal. That's it. That's what it says. Behema ba behema. Behema in the beginning of the pasuk, behema all the way at the end of the pasuk. You have an animal living in another animal, and the shechita of the mother is matter the animal inside. Behema ba behema abis zavlad. Ask the Gemara like this far out question from left field. Okay, so you tell me it's an animal. Guess what? When it talks about Hamara, right? Tmura. We learned about this many times. If a person has a animal, a so-so animal, and then all of a sudden he realizes he has a much nicer animal he wants to bring to the Rebbeinu Shalom. He says, "Oh, I'm going to take this animal, whatever this is a chatos. I want to put it on this animal. It's awesome in deraisa, and they both become kaddish." But what does it say in the pasuk? Vim hamer yomer behema ba behema. It's very similar lashon to what we're talking about over here. So behema ba behema, vayu tmurasa yeh kodesh. They both become kodesh. Says the Gemara. But over there by tmura it says it has to be a behema. It has to be an animal. According to what you're telling me, the fetus inside the mother is a behema. It's a behema inside a behema. So then Tmura should work on that fetus. Right? By Tmura all it says it has to be a behema. And you just called an unborn calf a behema, so then you should be able halachically to do Tmura. I should say, this cow that I'm bringing as a carbon, all its kedusha should go into my unborn calf. And it should work. And it doesn't work. You can't exchange, you can't make Tmura one limb to a fetus. Nothing works with a fetus. It's not alive. It's in the stomach. But you just called it a behema. Says the Gemara, you're right. Okay, I'm going to go with another pshat. Not this behema behema. Ella omakro v'chol behema. You see, in green, the first word is extra. It should say behema mafresh parsa. What's kol behema? So the kol is extra. L'rabbeis is avlad. Comes to extra word, talks about the behema. Like we learned in the Mishnah, if you cut the mother's spleen and her kidney while she's alive, you do a surgery, you cut off a piece, you chop it off, and then you do shchita on the mother, that piece you chopped off is usher to eat. Why? V'chol behema. Anything that's in the animal, you just used it for the fetus, I'm going to use it also for her kidney that you chopped off. So how come you said it's also to eat? She needs to be whole shlema v'lo chasera. Elama'ato, again in green, right over here. Another extra word. If you shecht an animal, unbelievable case, you shecht an animal, and lo and behold, imagine the surprise. You open up the stomach and you find the pigeon.
It's a demus.
Demus. It resembles a pigeon. No. Connected to the umbilical cord, the whole pregnancy. She's mamish growing, you're getting all excited, it's going to be a good shmaka calf. Open it up, pigeon, wings, the whole thing. Says the Gemara, Tishtari, why? Because this is v'chal. Allah ma'amar b'yochanan shoichet es behem u'matzav adam musyoyna also b'achila. But Yochanan says that it's also to eat. Why? V'chal. Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why it's also. Being a process v'leka, because in this pasuk it says, look, mafraz, process, shesa, the whole thing. You need process, you need hooves, and guess what? A pigeon doesn't have hooves. V'leka. Elam ata kol b'mei para litzar. Remember yesterday we had the case Reb Shimon. If an animal is born without split hooves, it has one hoof, it's also to eat according to Reb Shimon. We view him as a camel. But if that camel is inside the stomach and you do shechit on the mother, you're allowed to eat it. But according to what you just said, you shouldn't be allowed to eat it because it says process. Even when it's in the stomach, it has to have split hooves. It says Gemara, Tana de Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Shimon Beichai, Parsa ba'behema teichelu. No, even you could darshan the pasuk. It says mafreses parsa, even a single hoof you could eat. What about a pigeon? A pigeon has 0 hooves, so you can't eat a pigeon. So B'kitzur, the Gemara is saying, yes, you're right. If it looks like a camel, you could eat it because of the word parsa. But if it looks like a pigeon, you can't eat it because a pigeon has to have a parsa. If you have a pigeon with a hoof, then you'd be able to eat it. Says the Gemara, Rav Shimi, Barashi Omar Loilam Kidakamis Mirikara. Rav Shimi goes back to the original drasha. Behema ba behema. You have the extra word behema, so if you have so what do you do with the kasha? Why can't you do tmura? It's a full behema, and you can do tmura with a full behema. It's interesting that the parsha, even this pasuk right over here, the parsha tmura is repeated in meiser. When the Torah talks about meiser, when every 10th animal that goes through the gate, and then the Torah says over there you can't do tmura. So Memela, tmura and meiser are very similar because the Torah talks about tmura and meiser. So Reb Shimon says, "Ma meiser einu noig be'varim v'ubarim, av tmura einu noig be'varim v'ubarim." You're right. At the end of the day, this animal inside the stomach is a behema. It's a behema for everything. But there's an exception. When it comes to tmura, it's not a behema because I have some sort of hekesh. Now the Gemara just goes in to say, how do you know it's Reb Shimon? And how do you know that this thing of Eima Mirim goes according to Reb Shimon? The Snan, because it says in the Mishnah, Omer Rabbi Yossi, V'aloi b'mugdashim hoy meraglish shazu oila kula oila. So Rabbi Yossi holds that if I could do tmura on one aver, if I say this limb is tmura, then the whole animal becomes tmura. So Rabbi Yossi was saying, I'll prove it to you. Because by hegdish, if I say this animal, I look at a normal animal walking around in my barn and I say its leg is kaddish, then what happens? The whole thing becomes kaddish. Don't you agree with me that if in the first case by kedusha, by kedusha's carbon, I just say leg and the whole animal becomes kaddish, so too by tmura I say this leg is tmura and the whole thing should become tmura. Now who is he talking to exactly? So we have 4 options. Remei Reb Yehuda, Reb Shimon, and himself. Maybe he's talking to himself. That's what the Gemara is going to come out at then. But let's say he's talking to Remei Reb Yehuda. What do they hold? I would think that if somebody just says this foot should become a oila, the whole thing should become oila. Tamad loymar koila sheyitem mimenu lashem yeh kodesh. Mimenu kodesh v'loy kuloi kodesh. Mimenu means from within it, from it. Not the whole thing becomes kodesh, only part of it. So if only part of it becomes kaddish, maybe you could just sell it off. So what do you do? You sell it for the purpose of oila. And everything is chulin besides that foot. Okay, so you see Remei Rabbi Yehuda don't agree with Rabbi Yossi. They don't know that you can take a leg and make the whole thing a oila, and certainly not a tmura. Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon Oimrim, Rabbi Yossi and Shimon both say, if I just speak about the foot, then the whole thing becomes oila. They hold that from the yiyah I include everything. So I speak about a foot, it automatically, the kedusha spreads to the whole animal. Leman. So here's our proof that whole thing that we just said, that the Mishnah from Tmura goes according to Reb Shimon, because Reb Yossi couldn't have been speaking to Reb Meir and Reb Yehuda, they don't hold like him, and so the only other person was Reb Shimon and himself. Says Gemara Loi, Reb Yossi Tamid Nafshei Amar. He was talking to himself. He wasn't talking to Reb Shimon. He was saying, I don't care what anybody says. I hold that if I say this leg is a oila, the whole animal becomes oila. So then I also hold that if I say this leg is Tmura, then the whole animal becomes Tmura. He wasn't referring to Reb Shimon. So Mela, I don't have a raya that anything goes according to Reb Shimon. At this point, I don't have any rayas. I don't know. The Gemara says we don't know. There's no hechrach that's Reb Shimon. It could be Reb Shimon. I think there's a hechrach. All right, next Mishnah. Hamvakeres. I have to say over the joke. Reuven told me yesterday because I heard the joke years ago, and everybody knows it. It's a famous joke that the Yerushalmi kid he asked his Rebbe Kash. He's driving him crazy. So he said, you're a behema maksha. So he says, no, Rebbe, I'm a shoyel sapara. So fine. I didn't say in the first Mishnah, I have to say it over here. I'm vakeres amaksha. Yeah? I'm vakeres amaksha. I don't know how this joke would work. You have to come up with another joke. They're looking at me. What's...
That proves the nusach, yeah?
Right. That's what Reuven said. That's why he sent me the joke. He wasn't chas v'shalom saying a joke over. He's saying he's trying. It was learning.
It was serious.
Yeah.
Every time it gives birth, it's a bachar.
No, every firstborn of an animal is a bachar.
Once.
One time. It's a one-time deal. Says the Mishnah, Hamavakeres amaksha leilid. It's a cow's first time giving birth, and the firstborn of a cow is a bachar. The bachar goes to the kohen. The kohen gets to eat it.
It says a lamb over here. Does it make a difference?
No, I don't see why a lamb. Why would it say lamb by you?
It says any male firstborn lamb, kid, or cat. Oh, yeah, anything.
Yeah, anything. So, there's an isser. You hear Gary?
He didn't understand the joke.
No? Should I explain the joke?
You have to explain a joke.
5 minutes.
I didn't say it in English. It was the Hebrew
fine,
joke.
let's
It's a
continue.
Yerushalmi joke, whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Now, we know that a bachar has a kedusha, and since it has a kedusha, you can't do anything to it. You can't chop off its leg. If you chop off its leg, you're over issa deraisa. So we continue with the same thing, that the mother is having labor issues, and the only way to save it is by chopping off a leg. But we're dealing here with a special uber. The uber coming out is a potential bachar. Can you chop off its leg? It's not a problem. Why? Because there's no bachar. The bachar only happens once it's born, once most of it came out. But if it just stuck out its hand, it's not a bachar yet, and the mother's about to die, chop the foot off. And you throw the foot to the dogs. In other words, you don't have to treat it with any kedusha. Yatzarubai, but if all of it came out in one shot, hareza you cover, then the roiv came out, not piece by piece, hareza you cover. So now you have to treat it with kedusha. And it died, so you have to treat it with kedusha, you have to bury it. And the mother, even if it came out piece by piece, at the end of the day, this mother had a firstborn child, like any nafel. In terms of b'chayra, she's pater. The owner is pater from giving the next one as a b'char. Now the Gemara asks a very interesting question. I'm assuming this is a very lamdisha question to all of Shas. Itmar yotza shlish u'machar legoy. The 1/3 of the animal came out. We're looking for a roiv over here. We're saying that if 2/3 of the animal come out, then it's a roiv and it's a bachar for everything. What happens if you don't have 2/3? You only have 1/3. And he sells it to a guy. If you have a goysha partner in an animal, you don't have to give bachar. There's no bachar. So he right away, he chaps. Oy vey, I forgot to sell to the guy yesterday. I forgot to do heter mechira. He sees the hand coming out. He immediately sells it to the guy. And then afterwards, obviously, it was in the middle of childbirth, another third came out. Now you have 2/3 out. How do we view it? Do we have a b'char or don't we have a b'char? The third that he sold, was it a b'char or not a b'char? What's the shayla? Ravuna Omar Kadosh. Rabbi Omar Any Kadosh. Ravuna says this trick didn't work. The mechira it didn't happen. Ravuna Omar Kadosh Kosav al Mafreya Kadosh. V'kivin denofak le'rubei gloi misal Mafreya demikora have a Kadosh. Umay dezabin loy klum zabin. In other words, everybody agrees that a b'char only becomes a b'char when a roiv comes out. But when that roiv comes out, do we say that at that minute, at that millisecond, a b'char came out, or no? It was coming out the entire time, piece by piece. A b'char, 1% b'char, 10% came out, 20. When the roiv came out, then all of it became a b'char. It didn't just become a b'char at that millisecond.
The shaila is when it becomes a b'char. When
I
it
guess
all comes
it's
out, or any part of it.
Do we view it? Obviously, when it came out, Lemafreya wasn't a b'char.
Correct.
But just like a human being, when it sticks out its finger, it's not a human. When it sticks out its hand, it's not a human. When 2/3 of it come out, then it's a human being, let's say. Now, when it came out, then we say, oh, when it stuck out its finger, it's human. When it stuck out its hand, it's human. Then we understand what came out. It was all part of a process to become a b'char. It didn't just chal at that second. Rav Huna says it was all one long process, so therefore, yes, at that time you had a right to sell it, but once 2/3 of it came out, we realized that what you sold was not a sale. L'mafreya, we realized it.
But if it's
Rav Huna Amar Kadosh.
if the guy ate it up, then it wouldn't be a problem.
If the guy what?
Ate it up already before. It's like
If cutting it, then this is something else. Then the b'char didn't come out. Rabbi Amar and Kadosh. Rabbi says no. Kosav and Mekano lahaba Kadosh. We only view the second of the two things.
By selling the calf to
Yeah.
a boy or by selling the mother to a calf?
Calf.
And we're saying it's got to be done before the calf is born.
Yeah.
And how does he do
Vazal Tamayu. Let's just finish this up. We might have 1 minute here. Vazal Tamayu. It's a very similar machlokes, says the Gemara Ditmar. Yotze shlish derech doiv. A very interesting case. 1/3 of that. I'm not exactly sure how technically this works. 1/3 came out with a cesarean. Ushnei shlish derech rechem. Maybe it means that they chopped off the animal and the rest came out naturally. Fine. The point is, 1/3 came out cesarean. Ravuna Omar Ene Kodesh, Rabbi Omar Kodesh. Ravuna Omar Ene Kodesh, why is this animal not Kodesh? 2/3 came out naturally, but it was the second 2/3. Ravuna L'tamei Doma L'mafreya Kodesh, V'ruba Kamelese Berechem. Ravuna says, let's view it from the beginning of the birth. The first third was cesarean, not good for a b'char. And when the roiv came out, it had 1/3 cesarean, 1/3 natural. Boom! It was born. That's the 2/3. But only half of its life is a b'char and half of it is not. Rabbi Omar Kadosh, Rabbi Tamid Omar Mekano Laba Kadosh, V'ruba Derech Rechem Nafak. Should we finish? It's the middle of a sugya. Let's finish. Utzricha. Says the Gemara, we need both machlokes in the Yashmin and Bahai. If we're only talking about a guy buying a third, Ravuna, maybe Ravuna said it should be a b'char because I don't want the guy to get it. I want the b'char to be a b'char. Mishum, hold on. Mishum de likula. I'm trying, if you sell to a guy, you're making a kula here. I don't want a kula, I want this thing to be a b'char. Ava bahach, but in our case, where it was born 1/3 cesarean and 2/3 naturally, maybe he'll agree to Rabba that it is a b'char. B'kitzur, he always wants it to be a b'char. Either way. And if I only say the case of a shlish born cesarean 2/3 not cesarean, because Rabba wanted it to be a b'char. Maybe in the case when he sells it to the guy, he's made that it should be a b'char. Also the very good. Have a great day, Rabbi Isai. Amazing sugyas.
Does anybody know whether there's a
What?
way to get
How do you have a shlish, cesarean shlish no?
Yes,
Something